Hello everybody, time for another quick video. This one, a very quick video, deliberately so. I'm going to show you that it doesn't take very long to revise a case study, okay? I'm going to condense it for you. We did 3 lessons on this. I'm going to condense it into 3 minutes instead. This time on Christchurch Earthquake case study. We're going to look at the effects, the causes, the responses, the whole thing in 3 minutes, starting from now. So the earthquake case study of Christchurch happened in the HIC of New Zealand. Don't forget, if you're asked about a HIC, it's New Zealand. The place where it happened is Christchurch. In terms of what caused it, there was an earthquake that happened just 10 kilometres, not very far at all, as you highlighted there, west of Christchurch. It happened at lunchtime, so many people were out and about and at work on 22nd of February 2011. It lasted just 10 seconds, but it did measure 6.3 on the Richter scale and was around about 5 kilometers below the surface, so the focus was very, very shallow. This meant that the effects would have been more felt on the Earth's surface as it was nearer to it. Okay, now the earthquake occurred along a conservative plate margin where the Pacific and Australasian plate slid side by side each other. Okay, and there were obviously aftershocks too. So these are things here that you could include in your introduction of a 9 marker, for example. Just some key information. In terms of the effects, there were many primary effects you could do with remembering. The more you remember these, the more chance you get of getting a top mark answer in a 9 marker. So 185 people died, 3,129 people were injured, 6,800 people received minor injuries, 100,000 properties were damaged, $28 billion worth of damage was caused. You also had water and sewage pipes damaged, the cathedral spire collapsed, and there was liquefaction. This means where the ground becomes so unstable that more buildings and roads and infrastructure fall into it, with 2,200 people living in temporary housing. Now, in terms of the secondary effects slightly later, obviously the Rugby World Cup matches were cancelled, education suffered because schools were closed for 2 weeks, 20% of the population migrated, many businesses closed for a long time. They obviously had aftershocks too, and most people did eventually recover, but it did change their lives significantly in the longer term. In terms of responses, as a HIC, they did manage to respond fairly well, although they did rely on $6 to $7 million worth of international aid. It was provided by the Red Cross and other charities. Countries like the UK, USA, Taiwan and Australia provided support, including Australian police officers flying into Christchurch to help kind of rebuild and keep law and order. They also had health and hygiene concerns, so 30,000 residents were provided with chemical toilets. In the longer term, they built new houses, 10,000 affordable homes for the poorest who suffered the worst. They also restored water and sewage fairly quickly, and they had temporary housing and also planning to make sure this didn't happen again. So that's it. That was actually 2 minutes 50 in short, but the only questions you get on this were either evaluating the responses or the effects, or more likely comparing them to the LIC example that we studied, which will come up in a later video. So that's Christchurch, the whole of the Christchurch effects, causes and responses in less than 3 minutes. Please rewatch this. Any questions, let me know. Make some flashcards on this perhaps, and ultimately, that should be it. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you soon.